Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is then the break-even analysis by doing 2 or more graphs. Now, usually we draw a break-even analysis when we want to find out, for example, when will a company make a profit. Now, you must remember we call that point where the 2 graphs cross each other, the break-even point. What happens at break-even point? At break-even point, the income is equal to the expenditure. In other words, say for instance, you bought an item for 10 rand, then you are selling it also for 10 rand. Or you bought the raw material and it takes 10 rand to manufacture it. At break-even, you are going to sell it also for 10 rand. So if you have you bought it for 10 rand and you are selling it for 10 rand. It simply implies that you are not making a profit. When will you make a profit? When your income is going to be more than your expense. So look and read your questions very well. If they ask you for the break-even point, then you go and give the break-even point. But if they ask you for when will they start making a profit, you must go one whole number above the break-even point. Okay? If you have problems with break-even analysis, please go and revise it. Ask your teachers about it. The next thing that you must be able to calculate is simple and compound interest. Now, here we had this year a change in policy that you must know about. In the past, when we spoke about compound interest, we were usually eager to use this formula. Many of you will recognize it because you do it in grade 9 in mathematics, and some of you have been from mathematics now to mathematical literacy. This formula for compound interest will not be given to you because the policy prescribed for you to do compound interest step by step. Let me explain to you what I mean with step by step. Say for instance, you have 100 rand and you can get on it 10% interest, and you are going to leave every year, and you're going to leave this 100 rand for 3 years, so that you can then see after 3 years how did your 100 rand grow. You make an investment. Okay, this is now a very small number, but it's going to work very easy. What does it mean if I do compound interest? It means in the first year, I am going to get 10% interest on that amount, the starting amount of 100 rand. So I'm going to get 10 over 100 times 100, and if you work that out, you are going to get 10 rand interest. So at the end of year 1, you don't have just 100 anymore. No, no, no. You have now, at the end of year 1, you have 100 rand, plus you have 10 rand. And that gives you 110 rand. So when you are going to go now for year 2, when you are going to get your 10%, when you're going to work it out, you are no longer going to work it out only on 100 rand. You are now going to work it out on 110 rand. Okay, and if you work that out, you will see it is 11 rand. So at the end of year 2, what are you going to have? You're going to have 110 rand plus 11 rand, and that's going to be 121 rand. So, year 3. Year 3, you are going to start with that amount of 121. Okay? You're going to say 10% of 121 rand. Okay? And what is that going to be? We are probably going to get our comma now. So it will be 12 rand 10. So now at the end, you must go and say 121 Rand plus 12 Rand 10. And if you do that, you will get 133 Rand 10 cents. This is the way prescribed for you to do compound interest. Should the question not specify the method, and you want to use that formula, because if you now use that formula, you will get exactly this answer. You will put P as 100, you will put I as 0.1, and you will put N as 3. Go and check me. If you want to use that formula, you're going to have to remember it yourself. This formula will not be given to you, because this formula is now not the focus of the work that we do here. Okay, so grade 12, please take note. If you want to use that formula, you can use it. If the question do not say you may not use that formula, you can use it, but you will have to remember it yourself. Otherwise, you do it in steps. This is the method that we actually want you to do it with.